Hello, I'm Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360, and we're at EnerCom's 2016 Oil and Gas Conference. Welcome. We are joined by David Joe. He is the CFO of Evolution Petroleum. Hello, David.
Hi, good morning.
All right, so let's start with a fairly in-depth question, and you're a numbers man, so you'll like this. All right, Evolution just keeps producing oil and cranking out cash flow, which is good news for you, and paying dividends from the Delhi Field asset in Louisiana. Now, as you know, the asset was discovered in the 1940s by Sun and Murphy Oil, and now Evolution acquired the working interests in 2003. Could you bring us up to speed on the current production from the field and bring us up to speed on the current activity there as well?
Sure. The production in Delhi Field continues to steadily increase and rise quarter over quarter for the past 2 years. Most recently, about 7,000 barrels of oil per day gross is our exit rate for the most recent quarter. Unfortunately, due to the collapse in oil prices, most of the spending in the field has been curtailed. The spending that we have done this year is for the NGL plant that was sanctioned last year and will be completed and turned on later this year. In addition, conformance work in the field has led to higher oil rates and lower purchased CO2 volumes. Consequently, the Delhi lifting costs for us have declined steadily over the last 4 or 5 quarters, and that's an excellent trend for us. So we're very pleased with the recent development, the current development of the field, and we look forward to the startup of the NGL plant and the future development of the eastern portion of the field. As a reminder, these are low-risk reserves, long-life reserves, and production is expected to increase slightly and produce for another two plus decades.
All right, let's talk a little about the settlement. In June, Evolution reached a settlement for a long-term contract dispute with Denbury. What was the outcome, and what does this do for the project going forward?
Sure. The outcome of the settlement was very favorable for the shareholders of Evolution Petroleum. We received a $27.5 million cash payment from Denbury. We also received interest in a mingle sand, a sand that we didn't have a working interest ownership in, but it's a prospective area for CO2 flood. We also resolved some contractual differences between the two companies with respect to our ownership in the CO2 recycle facility. And lastly, we also put provisions in place for the CO2 pipeline transportation costs going forward as the current contract expires in 2019. With the resolution of the lawsuit, I think this just clears the path for the company to grow going forward.
You mentioned the NGL plant, so let's talk more about that. Can you give us an update on Evolution's NGL plant at Delhi Field? How close is the plant to being online, and what are the projected volumes?
Sure. The installation of the NGL plant is going very well. It's about 85 to 90% complete. Technical completion for the plant is scheduled for November 1st of this year. It'll be turned on basically November 1st. We are currently projecting 2,000 barrels of oil liquid per day and an additional 500 barrels of oil per day on a gross basis as a result of increased efficiency in the CO2 flood.
Excellent. All right, let's talk debt. Evolution has been debt-free since 2006, which as the CFO is obviously something you're proud of. What's the company's cash position now, and what credit facilities do you have in place?
Sure, we continue to be debt-free, and that is a principle of the company that to run the company conservatively. We have $34 million of cash on hand at year-end, and we also have a $50 million senior secured facility that's undrawn at the moment.
All right, last question. With your clean balance sheet, David, and continuing cash flow from Delhi, do you look at potential asset acquisitions or participating with another company to develop a different asset?
Absolutely. We are most definitely interested in looking at potential M&A opportunities and have done so for the past 12 to 16 months. The deal flow has improved dramatically over the last 9 months, and we believe that will continue to improve into 17 and throughout 17. We remain optimistic that we will be able to find an acquisition that will be accretive to the company, and we hope to do something in the near term.
Wonderful. Anything to add?
No, join the conference and thank you for your time.
I like your Houston accent.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, I am Angie Austin with Oil and Gas 360. Thank you very much to David Joe, CFO with Evolution Petroleum. Thanks for joining us.